This jobless girl had a dream to become a popular musician and sing alongside her idols. However, her quest for world domination would be a little unusual. From idolizing Hatsune Miku online to stealing my heart, this is the story of Adol. Meet Adol. Born in 2002, Adol was once your average girl that grew up in Japan. She enjoyed time with her family, pretending that she's living as a princess, and having a dream of performing musically on stage. She was an overall goofy person to be around, but one thing held her back. She was an introvert, and was teased and bullied because of her quirks. If you were an introvert, you remember that school years were the worst. You had to socialize with people who were often hostile toward you, and you couldn't really fight back. And because of that, if you were around my age, you likely took refuge on the internet, and specifically for Adol, her second home was on infodump. It's a video sharing website similar to YouTube, but is tailored to nerdy Japanese people. Throughout her time on the website in the late 2000s and early 2010s, she found so many cool genres of videos, but also, that's where she stumbled upon her first love, Hatsune Miku and all of her songs. Adol had always loved music from a young age, from Disney films, music anime doga, and even her father's music collection. But there was something about Vocaloid that struck a fresh and mysterious chord with her. Vocaloid's a synthesis program that allows people to make music and have lyrics in the background, sometimes by making Vocaloid sing the most inhuman things. Eminem's Too Scared of Miku. That led Adol down the rabbit hole of idolizing various songs and producers like Shudo and Teddy Lloyd. Stuff began brewing in her head. She loved the avant-garde and rebellious music style, while enjoying the anonymity of being an online producer. On infodump, there's a community of people who challenge themselves to create covers of Vocaloid songs with their own voice. They call themselves utaite. Some of these utaite became so confident in their singing abilities that they basically became mainstream artists in their own right, all while nobody knows their face. That was the last ingredient that was thrown into the cooking pot that led Adol to start practicing her singing. In January 2017, she uploaded a cover of Kimi no Taion onto infodump. I'm not even lying. I couldn't tell that she was a 14-year-old when she posted that. She discovered that her voice had a large and flexible range, but in the meantime, she had to prioritize her adolescence first, by finishing school and getting a job. She once worked at a boba shop, but was not really good at her job. Most people with dreams of becoming famous artists tend to let it go as they get older, only to find themselves as corporate wage slaves just to survive. But a select few won't let their dreams die. Over the years, Adol practiced and fine-tuned her voice over many covers and songs inside of her closet while balancing her real-life schedule. Her dream of performing in front of many people seemed like a distant, faraway thought. That was until the year 2020. What arguably might be her most important song has to be the one where she tells people to shut the fuck up. Usawa was Adol's big break into the Japanese mainstream, and quite the unusual one. While a lot of J-pop artists tend to be squeaky clean idols who sing happy songs
with a Mickey Mouse voice,
Usawa was bold and edgy, for Japanese standards. It follows the story of a high school student mentally breaking down at Japanese society's status quo of not questioning why things are the way they are, even at the bad stuff. Honestly, I feel like part of the song is also someone lashing out at people for not accepting someone's differences, which I think lines up with your average introvert. You wonder how I know? Especially in Japan, where society kind of expects you to fit a certain mold. A lot of that pressure will build up into a person and make them burst, leading them to draw X's on fat people's faces. Very great song, 9 out of 10. Otto was still in school when she released the song, and since she only knew the pains of being a student, she could only imagine how horrible it was working a job. I mean, she's not wrong. One news article even called Usawa the Gen Z melody, and I have to agree. It's kinda taboo to talk about social issues in Japan, so this song spoke up for a lot of young people. It makes me feel like I'm in one of those videos where people quit their jobs in style. However, some people weren't fans. It's been reported that some older people, the unks of Japan, got offended by the song, mainly due to worries about how it was teaching the kiddos to be disrespectful by saying shut up in a rude manner. It may be funny considering American hip-hop is just full of swear words and murder confessions, but in Japan, that stuff isn't really mainstream, so something that bold becoming so popular was definitely a sight to behold in the eyes of your average Japanese salaryman. But despite that, the song gained traction with the young whippersnappers of Japan, and to this day, it's earned over 330 million views on YouTube and was on the top of various Japanese music charts. The success partially pushed Otto and her team to get back in the studio and finally finish an album for the masses. In January 2022, Otto released her first and most fabulous album, Kyogen. It's a collection of 14 songs, all of which are pretty good in my opinion. My favorites go as such. Fireworks. It follows a girl who feels like she's worth nothing. Her life is symbolized by the fireworks, where it blows up young and sizzles away fast. It's up to her to find a way to break that cycle to become happier. Lucky Bruto.
So why do good girls like bad guys?
I've had this question for a real long time. Odo. It follows Otto rebelling against herself in order to kill her boredom. I love Odo mainly because it has those gunshot sound effects from Gmod. Ashura-chan. It follows an artist being worshipped like an idol or a god, kind of like Otto or your favorite YouTuber. People have a faulty image of you due to a parasocial relationship, so you feel pressure to keep up that godlike image. So, moral of the story? Be yourself unapologetically, or else you're going to end up washed up at a bar. What the hell, is that a cat smoking a bong? Uswa, mental breakdown. Yoru no Pyuro. Otto is singing about how she has to put on her happy face every day, kind of like a clown. It's basically her Joker arc.
Society rejects me because I try to be different. I am a Sigma lone wolf.
The thing that I believe made Kyogen so popular was how it feels rebellious. Kind of like Usawa, but with a wider range of feelings and scenarios, though it can be a bit generic at points. Like for example, Kokoro to Yuna no Fukukai being about going through life without understanding yourself, or Odo being about trying to escape a depression by buying a gun. Otto's talent was put on great display here, but I have to make it clear that Otto isn't a one-woman show. In fact, she only really sings her songs. She sometimes writes the lyrics to them, only for it to be enhanced by a lyricist. You know who actually makes the music? The Vocaloid producers she idolized when she was a kid. Odo had contributions by Deco Nina, Giga P, and Teddy Lloyd. Ashura-chan was composed by Neru, the producer, and Ursula was a product of Shudo. Part of Otto's dream came true by working with the people that she admired, collaborating with already established artists and licensing her songs to various mainstream TV shows in Japan definitely helped Kyogen break into the mainstream. The success made her a household name in Japan, which is fine and all, but Otto was on a new quest for total world domination, and thankfully for her, an opportunity finally presented itself at the door. With all these offers coming left and right, there was a spectacular offer to work on the soundtrack to an anime franchise beloved around the world.
One Piece!
Specifically, the One Piece film, Red. It follows the story of the singer, Uta, hosting a live concert for the first time. People of different statuses and creeds came all around the world to listen to her voice live. However, she had a sinister secret that we had to discover. I'll be real, I haven't seen One Piece, but from what I've seen about the film, it has garnered a mixed reception. Whether it's due to the film's story or how Uta was portrayed as a character, I don't know. From her casting in the film as Uta's singing voice, Otto was on the receiving end of a bit of hate due to... I'm not sure actually. The brunt of the hate mainly came from Twitter, which should speak for itself. If you ask me, I'd like to imagine that Otto saw all the hate that Otto was getting and was like, you know what, Otto? I'm gonna make you feel better. I think people were jelly that Otto was able to become a canon character in One Piece. At the very least, everyone can agree that Otto's songs were the highlight of the film. My favorite of her One Piece songs has to be Fleeting Lullaby, mainly due to how psychedelic it is. The movie became among the most successful Japanese films around the world, and by extension, a lot of exposure was given to Otto and her songs. Otto was in the minds of people all around the world. Total world domination was one step closer to completion. As of now, Otto had just completed her Hibana World Tour, where she was caged up and danced around like a quirked up chihuahua. She is literally on top of the world, yet I love her so much. Oh great, simp mode on. I think a lot of content creators lose their relatable touch when they become mainstream, what with all the ego and money in the world. With Otto, she probably has a bit of those things. But she also believed that Australia was being invaded by flying onions.
オーストラリアではなんだっけほら空飛ぶ玉ねぎ出た懐かしい。ツイッター愛がバレちゃったよ。
I believe Otto knows how it feels to be in a place where seemingly everyone hates you, and does not take her popularity for granted. Otto found her stage name from a class about a form of Japanese theater called Kyogen. Otto is a term that roughly means supporting actor. Her goal with her music is to be something that supports people through tough times, and frankly, I think she succeeded. The speeches that she gives at her concerts are something that can only come from deep within the heart.
This tour marks my first trip outside of Japan. I love praise to...
She was blessed with a killer voice and a tendency to kill our hearts with a love dagger. I had only just gotten into her stuff, but now I can't wait to see her come to a round one arcade and for me to drink her Usawa drink while listening to Oro on repeat. While cope and cry because I missed her Los Angeles show. Or maybe I'm just schizo and enjoy her goofy interviews. That part will never leave us.
尊敬した方がいい。私のことを。